What's up guys, Shouri here, and today we're going to go over some of the best combos to have with the crossbow. So first up, we are going to be using the Arbitrator and the crossbow. The best thing that I have found with this is to use the jockey pants because it will keep you alive. Using the Darkstalker because a headshot with the crossbow will be able to do a one-shot if they don't heal. And I really think that the Rick's revolver is the best pistol to match with this, but Glory seems to probably be number 2. Let me know if you guys want me to expand on that more and try to figure out which is the best pistol in another video. But for this one, we are going to basically be using in the medium to long range the crossbow. And if we get into the medium to short range in a rushing type setting, we are going to go ahead and pull out the Arbitrator. And this works so well, it is unbelievable, because you have the dominant power of one of the best snipers in the game for the long range, holding power positions with ease, and then if people start to rush you, you can just straight up switch that Arbitrator and make them regret it. So you really have the best of both worlds with this, in that you are dominant at the longer ranges, but once they start to come in close to you, that's when they're really screwed because of the Arbitrator. And right here, we saw that guy, and he was posted up on the head glitch on the left. So we decided to rotate around, start to kill his whole team, and basically just make good decisions. That is one thing with this combo, is being aggressive is really important, but you do need to be smart about it. Like right there, how we were able to rotate around, end up killing all 4 of them and capping the B hill, giving our team a fighting chance. Because my team wasn't super big on capping hills, so it was really hard to get points, and this game was way closer than it should have been. And the ability Arbitrator gives us to be able to kind of rush in and be able to cap these hills and not just have a sniping thing that's like at max range as much as possible, and instead it dominates at all ranges, is really why this is the number 1 on my list, because it just simply is the easiest to use and it is dominant in multiple ranges, which allows you to do much better on things like King of the Hill and control points where you're going to be the one that's rushing, because let's be honest, our teammates aren't going to be the ones doing it. But we got 19 kills for 464 points, multiple triples and doubles, and just complete dominance. So next up, and what's basically tied with the Arbitrator in my opinion, is the Orion with this. I'm not exactly sure which AR to put with the Orion right now. I'm torn between Sunburst, which can get people that are grouped up, or to put Wasp, which can give you the speed boost. So I'm not sure. That's why I haven't made the tutorial version of this. I'll probably take a week to figure out exactly what I want to do with this kind of weapon, and then I'll make a tutorial with the crossbow. But that's why this is a little delayed, is I just want to make sure that I give you guys the best advice. And in order to give you the best advice, I have to get research and figure it out. And I have figured out that Orion and crossbow don't necessarily even need an AR, which is why I would use something for like a speed boost, or just if everyone on their team's in a tiny room, then have a sunburst. Just food for thought, and I'll let you guys know more as I figure out exactly what I'm liking the most. But as you can see right here, we're just kind of making sure that we get our damage in, and we just do a ton of damage with the Orion, getting many kills and multi-kills, saving the game. But most importantly is it gives you so much damage with the crossbow, and being able to use the Orion, you can do pretty much everything you need to. And the key is to try to stay near the maximum range of the Orion. That way you can snipe the whole time. And if they get into your max Orion range, you can switch to the Orion and get the kill that way. Because the biggest thing Orion has is its range. While you don't need to be at range like you used to before, you still have much better accuracy for all your pellet damage than other shotguns at longer range, so you do have an advantage against other shotguns when you're at your max Orion range. Even though you don't need it to get the damage, it's still beneficial to you. So I would definitely try to stay back and use this to gain power positions, and then only push up as far as you need to be able to shoot them with the Orion, and start backing up to keep at that max range. And also, I found out that some of these pistols are terrible for this gun. One of them is Oppressor's very bad, Cascade's not great. If any of you have good pistol suggestions, please put them in the comments. But as you can see right here, the Orion does so much damage, and anything that you can't get with your crossbow, this one is just going to have a good chance of getting for you. It establishes really good map control and can just give you such a versatile range of things that you can do. So I am definitely a fan of the Orion and the crossbow for sure. It is going to be harder for you than something like an Arbitrator. So if it's something that you're not good at, then I would go Arbitrator for sure. But another option is going to be the Bastion. And this one plays a lot different than the other two, because you can use the Bastion to kill people that are behind walls and people that are rushing you. You can end up doing a ton of damage very quickly to them with just all the burst damage that it does. I find this to be definitely a better way to rescue yourself out of bad situations, but the one downside is that it isn't as good up close. The one thing is, if you have Rick's revolver, I would just honestly get the kill with a pistol after you hit them in the head with a crossbow if you're up close, instead of worrying about switching to this gun. But if you have a bunch of people in front of you, you can get them low and kill them when they run behind walls. Another really good tactic with this gun is to shoot a burst into them, and then you switch to your crossbow and quickscope them. Obviously, it takes a lot more skill to do all of these things, but the one thing that this is good at that everyone can do is, if they hide behind a box, just shoot a grenade at them. And then you just shoot them in a burst. Either the body or the head, does not matter, and then it'll be a one-shot kill whenever you switch over to your crossbow, making this a really good weapon for the crossbow, much more than people probably think. Because honestly, things like Arbitrator are a lot flashier and easier, but this one serves its own purpose, and this one is for more of those people who aren't necessarily trying to be rushing or putting themselves in the middle of the map or whatever. This is more for that traditional sniper setup where you take a power position and then you're able to go ahead, kill them one at a time, and just do your thing. So it is a gun that I like a lot, and I think it's paired very nicely with things like Barracuda and Crossbow, especially in that traditional sniping role. It's a very good AR backup, and it's just something that I like to use a lot, especially because I absolutely love using the underbarrel grenades. You can do so much cool stuff with those, and it's just a lot of fun to use in general. So I'm really glad that it ends up being a good combo with this, because, I mean, hey, if I have a gun I can use fun stuff with, I'm down. But another fun thing is using the pistol perk, which gives you extra pistol damage, and Rick's revolver, which will end up giving you 1,200 headshot damage on the first hit, and I think it goes up to over 2,000 damage if you hit him a couple more times. It's absolutely insane. So they need to give the Rick's revolver to everyone the same way they did with the Drifter's crossbow. So let's hopefully get that done, because it's kind of unfair that people don't have Rick's revolver when this gun is just that good. So this one actually has a little bit of a difference. You really should be using the eye with this. You lose 5% headshot damage, but it does tell you where everyone is on the map, so you can go in with your sunburst out when they are grouped up into clusters. This will allow you to be able to get multi-kills much easier. And again, this is another one of those things that's super easy to do because sunburst is just a super noob weapon. You get the same amount of headshot damage as you do body shot, and it's just unbelievably easy to use. So that one's why this one's in here. Is it's just something that if you don't have a good AR, and especially if you're not good with ARs, you can use this as a backup AR and do just fine. I would recommend using something like an Orion or Dolores with this though, because the AR, when it gets up close, will kill you because it'll give you explosive damage too. So just be careful with that. And I think something like an Orion pairs very nicely with this gun. And maybe the only thing that pairs nicer is gonna be Rick's revolver. Like I said, 1200 damage from far away is just absolutely insane. And if that guy didn't use Wasp Gun Dying, we would have had a 4 at once right there as well, all on very low health. This gun really can get you out of some messes, and it's so easy to use. That is its biggest plus. And then if you have a bunch of people in a small room or a bunch of people in a hill, you can just shoot all of them at once and go ahead and get those kills. So one thing that I like to use with Jockey especially is the fact that you can live forever and end up getting a lot of this damage to get elimination streaks, but especially because it's going to allow you to go in the hill. And you really don't want to be camping like a really bad player that is basically going for KD and hurting their team, because it just makes you kind of a bad person. I mean, think about it. If you could get the hill and you don't, and you make your team lose so your KD goes up, you're hurting everyone else so you can be selfish. That's just not cool. So having the ability to be able to go in and live long enough to still help your team and cap those hills is really good. So make sure you're going for the hill. This gun is a really good gun to snipe in the objectives and really be able to do a lot of rushing with it, not just to be able to stay back and camp like a Rochi and just hurt your team more than help. Even if you get first place, you're making your team lose. Like, let's be real. The fact that you're making it to where your team plays 3 versus 4 most of the game, and you're not helping them get the hills, and that means your kills just don't matter. But you know what else doesn't matter? Me trying to snipe. Because every time lately today, I've been trying to snipe, my ping spikes, so my gun shoots late, and then people rocket me. So what do I know? Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope it's helped. I'll have another video out tomorrow. Hopefully you guys come to the premiere at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and hang out with me. I'd appreciate it. It's always fun. Thank you so much to my channel members and donators. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.